Hello everyone, and welcome to the Yarnivore podcast Reboot Volume 2. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've actually tried to make a podcast. It's been a while since I've podcasted. I honestly don't know how well this is going to go. Welcome to my messy spare room. Husband is currently trying to put Bub down. Don't know if that's actually going to go through or not, but fingers crossed. There's a little bit of odd lighting because my grow light is going over here. There has been a frost warning in Saskatchewan, where I'm currently located after our journey across the country in 2019. And so I brought in all of my little sprouts, and they need some serious sunlight because I don't want them to get killed. So I've got some tomatoes up there. I've got peppers behind the camera. I've got peppers behind me. I've got tomatillos in here and all kinds of, I've got some squash, yeah, and a sunflower. But they were all the ones that I could bring in that were in pots that would be subject to lower temperatures. I think it fell to -1 Celsius, which you start getting concerned. The things I couldn't bring in all stayed in the garden. Some are very angry. We lost several squash, but they were struggle buses to begin with. So just a heads up, since I moved back to Canada, I have had like 3 or 4 jobs and I've started gardening. So that's a thing now. But lots of people have started gardening during the epidemic, pandemic, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So I'm just going to jump in to everything. I'm not going to give you all the whips I've had in the last 2 years because that would be a bit overkill. I'm probably going to say a lot because I'm not used to doing this anymore. We are recording from my spare room on my phone. I don't know how long this will take me to edit and get up because I'm running off of a laptop instead of my old computer right now. And I made notes, but the notes are actually under stuff that I intend to show you. This is going to be broken into 2 parts because I am going to be too lazy to split it up into 2 different podcasts, one for knitting, one for cross stitch. So this is just the I craft and this is everything. And occasionally I'll also talk about books I've read because the bookshelves start here, but they actually go like all the way to the other wall. This is a wall of bookshelves with a lot of stuff on top, pretty much board games, lots of fiber, lots of yarn. But my husband's miniatures in various states of painting. His painting setup is here. Right now he can't get to it because of course there's too many plants. And I work from home. I got a new job 2 weeks ago, which is actually the reason I'm able to start podcasting again because it's much less stressful and much less demanding, ironically enough, than my previous job, which I was at for about a year and a bit, year and a half. So, yeah, it's been a wild ride. Let's rock right on in. I am going to say briefly that I am drinking in my Black Cat mug, which you can't see the fact that it says Black Cat, but it's huge. It's probably 20 ounces of deliciousness. I am doing the Lemon Pound Cake David's Tea, which is it's a Canadian company, David's Tea, but it's imported. This particular tea is imported from Germany. So there you go. Tracy, is that a thing? Is David's Tea over there? Is it just a different name? So yeah, lemon pound cake. Hopefully it tastes good so far. It's an oolong, medium caffeine. Mommy needs caffeine. That's what mommy needs. And so a few of the things I have finished in the interim. This one's been posted to Instagram. Oh, and I'm Sadie Ruin on Instagram, Twitter. I'm Blue Ruin on Ravelry, but I don't go to Ravelry anymore because I am part of the 1% that does get migraines from it. I am slowly moving all my patterns over to PayHip. That has not happened yet due to the aforementioned job issues of not having any time for myself, let alone my family or extra stuff. So those will start moving more and more over to PayHip as I continue. But as you may have seen on Instagram, which is the best place to locate me, I finished the Nazarene. Now see, I need the notes. Where are the dang notes? Here they are. They're under everything. I'm just gonna pull and hope nothing falls over. My Hello Kitty notebook, which is of course covered in doodles. Kiddo is an artist. This is the Nazarene, and it's by Lana Joy. I can't even read my own dang handwriting. That's where we're at today. It's from Pom Pom, issue 25, summer 2018, and I know y'all saw me knitting it. I started it before I got pregnant, and then I just didn't finish it forever. But, and pardon the aesthetic of the different, it really messes with your eyes on camera, so I do apologize for that. I knit it out of purple and gray. Did I write it down? No, I didn't. I knit it out of purple and gray cotton from Knit Picks. So, yeah, I've worn it many times. It goes through the washing machine just fine. I did find after the first drying in the washing machine, though, this shrunk a little bit, and I don't want it to shrink anymore because I'm a big girl. So I am just laying it flat now. It might go through the dryer every alternate washing. I'm not sure yet, but very comfy, very good summer. Nice summer outfit. Next up, I was working on this one for a while too, the messed up version of the Tin Can Knits Flax Light. So the neckline and the ribbing on all of it is some leftover Knitter's Nightmare that I had from something, and then I used, this is Ba Yarns, and the Lahala base, and then I used Trillium fiber, I think. I used a full skein of each, and then the bottom is Knitty in color. And how I screwed it up is that this is all of the sleeve is done in garter rather than just the panel of garter, because I misinterpreted the pattern, as you are wont to do on occasion. I've worn it many times. It's great for work. It's great for Zoom. And I'm just ramming it into a bookshelf. How's that? Oh, it's like I didn't even leave. I'm just ramming things in bookshelves. It's dry up here, so I'm going to be drinking the whole time. I'm sorry if it bugs you. You just deal with it, kids. Deal with it. And the last FO I have to show you, and the Flax Light, is by Tin Can Knits. It's a free pattern. This is the Iris Raglan by Rachel Ramo, who is also Maven Crafted on Instagram, and she has a PayHip attached to her Instagram, or you can find her on Ravelry. Please use Ravelry as little as possible. That's my disclosure, okay? And so this one is meant to have a lot of extra ease. I think I knit the 52 and it comes out like 70 some or 60 some. I was a test knitter for this one, so I did make sure to get gauge, but your mileage may vary. However, it is the full size range. So if you're looking for a nice big person pattern, big gal pattern, this would be it. And the basic specialty of it is there's this little detail in the raglan increases. It's like a little mock cable. I did a short sleeve. There's a 3/4 sleeve or a full sleeve. There's a couple different sleeving options, and I added some length because I don't like this cropped movements that's happening. It's not my thing. I don't like my midriff to be cold. I'm relatively indifferent to if it's exposed, but I don't like being cold. It's just clammy and unpleasant. So, I mean, you could do this in the crop version called for. I did it in a longer version. I think I added 4 inches, 2 inches, 2 to 4 inches. And again, there's pictures of me wearing this both on Ravelry, as was required by the testing back in the day, and on Instagram. I'm going to put it over here somewhere. No, I'm going to, right there. It can live right there. And I knit that out of, I have a skein left over, Smash Knits Fiber Goodness. I apologize if this ends up backwards. I'm going to have to figure out how to flip this. So Smash Knits Fiber Goods. This is it's Happily Dyed on the Canadian Prairies. I think she's out of Manitoba. It's a 90-10 superwash merino nylon fingering weight single ply. This is the Bubbles 2 colorway, 438 yards, and it's the cocoon base. So you get to deal with my lighting issues. So there you have it. I really like it. I have this extra skein. Don't know what I'm going to do with it. Probably might be able to get a baby surprise jacket out of it. I know I had to use a little bit of it to finish the ribbing and the bind off, so that's why it's caked up, and I just was too lazy to hank it back up. Angry pup. Someone doesn't like to nap, period, and that's my life right now. So those were my finished objects that I figured I should show you. There's of course lots of socks. I've been knitting socks probably since I left, and will probably continue to knit socks forever. That's just who I am. And I did a lot of Christmas presents for socks. So I've decided to only show you my active whips when it comes to knitting. There are very few, well, not very few, but for me, I guess it's very few because I'm sitting right next to this giant basket I bought. It's a metal basket. I think it's supposed to be a laundry hamper, and it holds all of my whips. And I've cleaned it out and been like, this needs to be frogged. This hasn't even been started. It doesn't even need acknowledgement. Like when I was like really excited about things and decided to prep for the future because I anticipated I would have time. Former me, time is not on our side. So yeah, there's a giant pile, and some of it still needs to be frogged. Some of it needs to be worked on. Some of it is just second sock syndrome issues. But I've decided that I'm only going to show you things that I've actively worked on in, say, the last month. That's my cutoff. If I've worked on it in the last month, then I'll show you. So I'll start with, I have a very basic, it's a Zoom meeting sock, which is a Volbut Funfair little troll guy. I believe I got this from Tracy, and it looks something like this, knit up, and I am, as you can see, on the heel flap. It's really good for knitting on Zoom meetings when I can angle the camera high enough that no one can see my hands, because then I can just go to town. I am at a point though where I'm going to have to do the finish the heel, turn the heel, pick up the gusset and flap, and then I can go to town again, because gusset picking up, heel turns and gusset pickups can be a little requiring of attention, more so than just solid stockinette, which is great. I mean, I basically did that whole thing in 1 week of solid meetings. What else do I have here? Okay, I'm not going to show that one because I worked like 4 rows on that. So this is in my, actually that one's at the bottom of the pile, so I'm going to go with whatever's at the top because that makes sense, right? Go with the top of the pile. This is in my Stitch and Narwhal bag. So the Stitch and Narwhal. Does this one have the tabs in it? Yeah, okay. Let me just pull out my pattern. The Stitch and Narwhal. How cute is that? Isn't that so cute? It's so cute. I know. Come dance with me in the cute corner. I have started, possibly a bit ambitious, but I was like having a moment, and I don't know what that moment was, but there was a moment where I was like, I want to make something with cables. And I don't mean just like a cable, but I want it to be like something exploded on it, and there was no room for anything but cables. And the thing that I found that I like the most is a Manos del Uruguay pattern called Aubrey. It's by Sarah Solomon. I printed it in black and gray, so I don't know how well it's going to turn out, but here's what it looks like in the pattern. It's a pretty involved cardigan, and I believe it's written for sport weight. Alpaca heather, does it tell me? No, it just gives me a gauge, which is 30 stitches and 32 rows in the body chart, 24 stitches and 32 rows in reverse stockinette. And you can go to the Manos del Uruguay website to buy this if you want it. It's charted. I don't think it's written. I think it's just charted. And so you start on the back, and that's where I'm at. It's going to take me a million years, and I'm completely content with that because I am feeling this cable vibe like nobody's business. So I'm using a US 5. What is that? Aside from worn off from my thing. I think that's a 3.5. US 4 or US 6 is 4 millimeters, isn't it? So is it 3.75 or 3.5? One or the other. It's a US 5. We can all do the conversions. We're all pretty good about it. And this is the back, and this is how far I've gotten. And basically you do 16 inches of this. So my guess is that, from what I can tell of the pattern, you do the basic main here, and then the sides adds the extra cables out to equal the side. So basically less or more depending on how big a person you are. And I will point out, look at this cute little Pop-Tart thing I got going on here. Look at that. No, don't with the sun here. There we go. Isn't that cute? It's a little Pop-Tart stitch marker. I got that from Charm Dreams Warman. I actually picked it up at the Naked Sheep Fiber Yarn and Fiber, Naked Sheep Yarn and Fiber. That's my local yarn store here in Regina, so if you need anything in Saskatchewan or in the Regina and South Saskatchewan vicinity, go to Naked Sheep because it's awesome. But so you can get Charm Dreams Warman if you're not local online through her web store. But if you're local, stop in and pick some up because they're adorable. You'll see more of those on my needles. And this has baubles, and I kind of feel like I've defected to the dark side. Maybe not the dark side, maybe, I don't know. I feel like I've left sanity behind because I remember saying there's no way I would ever allow a bauble near me. And here I am, bobbling away, and I'm completely content with that. So, you know, we grow as people, and maybe my growth is in baubles. Maybe. But this is the back, and I have to keep going until I have 16 inches. I am knitting it out of this glorious gloriousness. This. And it's pretty close to color. It's a little darker. It's this color. When I hold it here, that is the color. It's natural. Oh, hey, look. I have a needle gauge in here. I can tell you what a US 5 is. It is 3.75. It's 3.75 is what I'm knitting on. I also want to say that what's the sizing on this? I'm going to try and give you guys more information on that because I know. So there's a 59 3/4 inch finished bust circumference, and it's very stretchy. So I'd say you could probably go up to a 62. There's no waist shaping in this. It's just a very boxy cardigan. So again, if you're looking for something to fit bigger, up to your 60s, you're good to go. I myself am knitting the highlighted, which one did I highlight? Trying to give you all the infos, but I'm doing a 52¼ inch bust. I'm doing that with 1/4 inch of leeway. It's going to be pretty close, but you know, you can block anything out. And I'm using Long Way Homestead yarn. This is the Rambouillet Cross Fingering 3-ply dark brown, grown and milled in Manitoba. I have many skeins of this, and I've actually added up the different skein because they all vary in length. Not by much, so I have many skeins of this. I was going to originally do the 11/12 sweater by Tina Say Knits, and I did it, and I looked like that, the thingy in Jurassic Park, you know, where it goes, and it like, yeah, I looked like that when I held it over my head. It was just too big. So that needs a fingering weight. This fingering weight comes up more, like when I knit it, it knits more like a sport, so I am using it more like a sport with this than like a fingering. So here you go, pardon my crappy nails. So Long Way Homestead, I have a fair amount of this is the natural dark brown, but I also have some, like I said, I was doing the 11/12, so I had gotten this to go with it, which is gorgeous. And this is the Rambouillet 2-ply, and it's been dyed with goldenrod and indigo. So it's going to be something else. It just doesn't, this is all one single color, so that's what that is. I also have worked on this guy. This is in my Ginger Snaps, fuzz everywhere. I requested this bag. It is huge, enormous, and I love that because I need a lot of yarn for a sweater. And of course, it's all Sailor Moon all the time. I needed it. It had to be in my life. Not even gonna joke with you. I am knitting the Diaphanous Raglan by Jessie May Knits. I don't know that I printed off the cover page. I'm gonna double check for you. I've also spilt stuff on it, so there we go. The Diaphanous Raglan, it's a deep V front, a deep V back, and it's by Jessie May Martinson of Jessie May Designs. I'm getting there. Again, you can see me trying it on Instagram. I am using, okay, so I've got this, which is Miss Crosby's hat box, and I forget what colorway it is, and I don't have a tag with me, but this is what I've used, one of them, and I've got a needle in here for some reason. I'm sure I needed it in here. And then for the mohair component, I'm allergic to mohair, so I'm using the Surrey Silk, which is a baby Surrey alpaca and silk from Ginger Snap Yarn, and this is the Morning Garden colorway, and yes, it is electric green with hints of neon throughout, and apparently it's shedding in here like crazy. So here's where I'm at with this. I am knitting the one sleeve. I'm knitting the one sleeve on a US 7, which is 4.5mm needles, and this is where I'm at. So the body's done, and as you can see, I'm getting somewhere with the sleeve. I'm doing the bishop sleeve, so the big poofy one, the biggest poofiest one, because why not? I've got enough of the Surrey Silk Merino. So there's that. I had hoped to have it done for spring, but we're transitioning out of spring because we had 2 days of 31 degrees Celsius, and then we had like -1. What the heck? But when it hit 31, I was like, oh yeah, not gonna happen, guys. But it did. And in my bag, it's living in the bag that I got from the Naked Sheep. I had knit my husband a sweater and I had dyed the yarn ages ago, so there was no hope that I was getting any, I was going to be able to match dye lots, I was going to be able to re-dye things. It just wasn't happening. I don't have any more product. I have some dye, but I don't have any like base yarn. So I went and got something that was close so that I could just do the neckline differently. And again, posted it on Instagram, the finished one. But then, because I was worried I was going to need a lot of yarn, I bought 4 or 5 skeins of ultra wool, Barocco ultra wool for it. And it's 100% superwash wool. I know it's horrible for the environment. I'm working on changing my mindset, but I'm also working on using what I have and so forth and so on. So I am making, so then I was like, yeah, because I need another project. Really? This giant thing that I sit next to all day is not screaming at me that I don't need another project? Right? After the giant bleep show, shall we say, that was Quince & Company's horrifying and lackluster response to Layla Raven. She retained the copyrights and whatnot for her patterns. So she was having a pattern sale, and all the pattern sales benefited a charity. And I saw this and I thought, I have just enough yarn. This would be great for the kiddo. So I picked up this pattern, which is Georgie by Layla Raven. It's just a very simple textural pattern for kidlets, I think. It goes up to a 30 by 30 and 3/4 inch chest. I'm doing the 23.5 inch chest, but I will be lengthening the crap out of the sleeves and possibly out of the body because apparently my kid is a string bean. And I am knitting it on 4.5mm needles, which is a US 7-ish. And it's going to take me forever. By the time I finish it, it probably won't fit anymore. But again, I'm okay with that. I've just grown to be okay with certain things. Like, sometimes you're going to knit stuff and it's not going to fit. But that's okay, because my cousin is pregnant with her second boy. And I can just say that this is a baby gift, right? Like a baby shower gift. Do they have baby showers for second babies? I don't even know anymore. What do? It's COVID. I'm just going to drop it off on the door and run. Okay, now that it's cooled down, it is delicious. It's a very strong black, though. Very strong. And blast from the past, this is my last knitting project, and then I'll show you some spinning and some stash enhancement, because who doesn't love a good stash enhanced? I pulled out, because it was 31 degrees 2 days in a row. Like, my garden hated it, my body hated it. I'm sure my power bill hated it because I had the AC going, and I had previously intended to knit this again right before I got pregnant, or when I was pregnant. It's the Herrera by Paula Pereira. It looks like that. And it's from Pom Pom Knits. And I'm not going to show you too much because then you'll see all of the pattern. But it's from the same, it's episode or issue 25, summer 2018, so that gives you an idea. This is 2021 and I'm knitting something I kitted up in 2018. Good on me, right? Like, at least I'm using it, at least I still want it. Some people really don't like this thing, but I think it would be great to throw over top of a tank top, because one of the things I do is if I'm working outside or if I'm on the, like, you know, doing exercisey things, I'll be in a tank top, but then I need to run to the store or something. I'll throw something on over top, and I think this will give me that. And I am using Knit Picks Lindy. The main color is black. There's nothing really special to it right now. I am knitting on 3.5mm needles. I don't know what that is, US. You say, or have you worn off too? No, it's a US 4. So, yeah, that's as far as I've gotten. And I am using the cutest stitch markers. I don't remember who they're by. I didn't bring them in here, but I got them, again, at the Naked Sheep. And they're little kitties. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. How cute is that? Okay? Okay? Day Made. There you go. And actually, I'm going to throw it in a project bag because I just happen to have one right here. It's a super old Mina Makes project bag, but at least then it will be saved from getting harassed by the kiddo. Ta-da! In we go. And, okay, so those are whips I have, and just briefly, and I've done other spinning, but I couldn't find it. I wanted to show you guys my gradient. It's my gradient spin. Isn't it great? It's probably a sport to a DK. I have some ideas of what I might do with it. I have enough to do a sweater. I got 3 4-ounce braids from Nitty and Color. This is one of Nitty and Color's Halloween gradients. So I just broke it up. There we go. There we go. There we're seeing the subtleties. So you got the solid orange with a little bit of gray, and then you go into the gray and orange with a little bit of black, and then you go black and gray. And I just divided it up as best I could for a 2-ply. I believe this is Targi. It's super bouncy. I would like it to be as open work as possible. Like I don't want a tight gauge. I might go at a larger gauge than it needs, just because I think it needs to be opened up, because it really did puff a lot. And then I have this guy, which is the first ply, and it's very boring. It's the Carrie Furnace colorway from Hip Strings, and it's a mixture of alpaca. There's a sheep fiber in there. I was called by the Zwarbles. I don't know what a Zwarble is, but it's in here. And so this is the first ply, and I will get the second ply done eventually, but I'd only spin when the kid is down for the night. And like I said, I've been adjusting to a new job, and my previous job didn't give me a lot of time, so I was spinning, but it would take me forever, and then it was like, do I want to pull it out at night or not? So there you have it. Now we can go into some yarn prawn for you. How's that, yarn prawns? I got some over here, got some over there. This, I just shove it in the bookshelves. Seriously, my bookshelf is like, eats the yarn. I was going to do the latest West Knits Mystery Knit Along, and then I didn't like it because there was a bunch of holes, like in the honeycomb part, and then you pick up, and I just didn't like that. And kudos to you if you like it, but it's not my thing. So I didn't. And then I made fun of myself because I was like, Self, you hate Mystery Knit Alongs. You hate them. You never like them. The ones you do make you angry. Just stop. So luckily, although I had ordered some yarn because I didn't have enough of a single color fingering, I know what, that I didn't want to break up from other stuff, because apparently I'm Planny McPlannenheim over here. I had ordered this gorgeous Midnight Peacock Sparkle by Eureka, who is Fiber Art Studio here in Canada. But she ships to the US really fast, because I remember when I was in the States and I ordered some, it shipped really fast, and it ships really well in Canada too. So it's gorgeous. This is sparkle. You can see the sparkle. Can you see the sparkle? I think you're seeing the sparkle. Doesn't it just make you happy? Like, it's this gorgeous, like, dark teal. I don't know, it just makes me happy. And it needs to be something, but I don't know what. And because I can't resist a Halloween color if it remotely exists, I also picked up this one. It's Halloween Dance. It's also on the sparkle base. And it's... because I needed another variegated. I needed another Halloween variegated, because it's not like I have an entire Expedit shelf just for those. Or is it? But I love it. It's gorgeous, and it's sparkly. Look at the sparkle. Look at that sparkle. Look at it. Are you moved? Are you moved by the sparkle? You should be. I was so moved. What else do I have over here? I am apparently, I should be an ambassador. I should be I should be some kind of ambassador. I really should, for Dye For You. This is one of the many tags. This is the snug fingering, and it's just like a speckly thing. Because you know, who can resist speckles? But that's not what Dye For You is pretty much known for. And she's out of Canada too. So I'm going to move these over. Let's see how many I can get in the screen at once, because you know, when you stop dyeing your own striping yarn, you just really, I don't know, maybe you go through like a detox phase where you just think, hey, I'm not going to have a need to buy a bunch of self-striping yarn ever again or anything. But then you think, why not? Why not? And then you go, I have literally, like seriously, I bought this one, right? And I apologize, it's been smished a little bit. And this is Truly Outrageous, which is a gem in the holograms colorway. It's a 6 stripe, 5 or 6 stripe. Again, if you go, I think on her website there's swatches, but there's also swatches at the Naked Sheep. Anywho, Truly Outrageous. I thought, okay. And then I bought Unicorn Poop. They look very similar. My husband said, you bought the same skein twice. And I said, no, I didn't. There are subtle variations, my friends. Subtle variations. And yet. And this one is Rainbow Infusion. So it's rainbow with black. Rainbow with black. This one I figured I could probably do up a husband sock. It's Moody Blues. Or I might use it for myself. Or I could do one of those striped sleeve, sock sleeves or whatever. That pattern. I think it's by Tanis. I think it's by Tanis. It might not be by Tanis. It might be Tin Can Knits. Either way, there is a, you know, where it has the stripy sock arms, and then you have a flat body. I could do that for the kiddo or myself, I guess. I don't know what's one skein gonna do for me. And then I have the eggs with a side of chocolate, which I think is supposed to be an Easter colorway. Like, I'm breaking my own rules by buying colorways that are holidays, because I don't like holiday color. Like, I don't. Usually I don't. But tell that to this yarn. Look at that. Look at it. Okay. You have looked at it. And lastly, you'll love G, you'll love T, you'll love light. I don't know. You will. You're gonna have to find someone who likes Christmas and just knit them socks, because that's what it is. And I have more. It's just these are the top ones. There's only so many you can carry. And it's all going in the bookshelf because Robert Jordan needs to be ensconced in neon. But seriously, how can you can't. You can't. I mean, you can't. And maybe if you can, I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't be friends if you can't. Just saying. And the last thing I'm going to show you for stash enhancement when it comes to yarn, it's all my Minnesotan friend Sarah's fault. She shared some yarn, and then I had to get some, because you know you have to get some, and she's Canadian, and I feel the need to support my people. And that would be Shirley Bryan yarn. And because I couldn't just get one, because, you know, these sock sets are just too adorable. I didn't get the gradient sock set because I can't be bothered to set an alarm clock and an F3 8 million times. However, if you can, perhaps you should get some of those Witchcrafty Cult coffin stitch markers. Like, I might have to set an alarm for those because I do want them. But she also does a gradient. But these are Mad Madam Mim. So, of course, I had to get it because I love the Sword in the Stone, but I love Mad Madam Mim. And it's the 75/25 superwash merino nylon. It actually feels more like, this is not the American base, like the American The American 75-25 that you get from like Sheila, this is not it. This feels more like the 80-20. It's very much like the 80-20. And so you have a little 50 gram skein, and then you have, or no, this is 20 grams or 90 yards, and then you have 50 grams, which is 230 yards. So you can make a pair of socks with alternating heels and toes. This one is a yarn is a silent scream for a yawn is a silent scream for coffee. And then we've got Tesseract, which has been hurt by kittens, which is why it kind of looks a hot mess in its thing. It's not her, it's me. And so I have these sets because, you know, I don't have enough sock yarn. And if you believe that, So, as far as knitting, that's everything I've been up to recently. But now I'm going to show you some of the cross stitch because I wanted to meld the two together as best I could. Not that I am good at it, but because I can do one show, and it might be 2 weeks, it might be a month. I don't know how often I'm going to come back, but do let me know if you like this. New viewers, returning viewers, if you remember me, that's very sweet. But if you're new too, that's cool. Let me know. Let me know if I should keep going. Or, you know, if no one says anything, maybe I just need to, you know, fade into the void. And that's fine too. I did the Halloween Gone Quaker. And I did this all with my own floss selections. I selected different flosses. I just kind of went with what I had on hand. I had some leftover carry-ins from doing the Mirabilia I did, and I had some one-offs that I have been sent or picked up along the way. I don't know why it smells so good, but it smells really good. And it's just on a fat quarter. I believe this is a 28 count linen. It's a linen, and I believe it's 28 count. You can't, I don't know that I have anything higher than 28 count right now. Also, there are like, I think there's one cross stitch place. I haven't been there here yet because of course COVID happened. I know there's one in Saskatoon. I might have to go visit, but for the most part, I just order from 123 Stitch. My husband for Valentine's Day kitted up some cross stitches for me, and this is one of them because I miss our old house. So this is the Pacific Northwest. This is Seattle. It's got a very, you know, Space Needle, and this is on 28 count. I think this is Carolina linen or something like that. And I need to actually finish them, kind of sucking at that. And then I've got whips over here, so I'm just going to bend and get my whip box. It's a box. This just sits next to me on the couch. Thankfully, the kiddo leaves it alone. One of the things, so these are the ones I've worked on most recently, and I'll be darned that I'm actually getting any kind of accomplishing done. I don't know that I have, oh, here we go. So I'll just show you them quickly. I will try and remember to put a marker in here for the cross stitch people so they know where to jump to if they don't want to watch my knitting. And I have stash to show off for cross stitch too. This is the Heaven and Earth Designs Quick Stitch Bubble Fairy Kitten Face. This is a number 2. I of course finished the Bubble Fairy Cat Face a while ago. I don't know when you saw her last, but I know I finished another row. I'm not going to take the Q-snap off, but that's where I'm at right now. So I've got 2 full rows. I'm on the 3rd row. Of course I'm parking. I really like it. I like full coverage. But, so I was going gangbusters on that one, and then, was it Stitch Asia was April? Was Stitch Asia April? I can't even remember now. But, oh, where is it? Is it at the very bottom? Of course it's at the very bottom. Why? Why would it be easy to get? That would just be crazy, right? Okay, so for Stitch Asia, I have not gotten finished on it yet because I went to town on something else, but I started on a Studio Ghibli one, and I won't show you the pattern because it literally does not have a picture for it, and I'm not sure if that's how my husband printed it off. This is one of the ones he kitted up for me, so he got everything together, all the DMC and stuff, and it's everybody from Studio Ghibli. And I was just going to town, so that's where I got to on that for Stitch Asia. And yeah, I had fun with it. I will finish it. I mean, it came right off of finishing 2 things, so maybe I just needed to, you know, have my moment. Have my little moment. Let me take these out because they are not being used. Throw them over there because that's what I do. And you just love seeing my arms and the side of my head. I mean, I'm a thrill a minute. Then for a while, I pulled out an oldie but a goodie, which is the Pelican by Courtney Glau, who is the Courtney Collection. And I have so many issues with like stitching this because of like just the serious amount of extra fabric I have. But I got this whole piece done here, so I'm almost done another page. But there was a tragedy with it in that the pages I had got lost. So the page I was actually marking, because I photocopy working version, right? And I highlight it because I want a working version I can dirty up, and then I have a pristine copy because that's, again, who I am as a person. And my highlighted copy got lost in the move, so I had to like go through and figure out where I was and figure out how to get back to where I was, and all of that stuff no one really wants to deal with like off the start, so it impacted my abilities. And then the thing that's been sucking my soul out through my ear as of late, and I'm doing that solely out of 3799 DMC, of which I have an asinine amount. So yeah, then this is all Abby's fault. Abby, it's all your fault. Abby showed, Abby Bella Stitch showed a preview for, I'm gonna throw things everywhere because I'm not that prepared, but you love it. She showed the preview for a new long dog called Opening Gambit, and it has, it's based on chess, right? So, my husband and I have played much chess together, and we like chess, and it's a thing. So I was like, is that chess? I need this. And then it came out, and I was like, I need this. As you do. As you do. Particularly right now, I try to be a little more gentle with myself because of the stress of the pandemic. You know? So I got it, and here, I'll take it out. I'll take off 2 Q-snaps and show it to you. I pulled out a piece of 18 count Ada, and this is how far I've gotten. It's really close to the top, but I think I'm just gonna sew on some fabric for a border and then like do a banner hanging. That's my theory anyway. So this is 3.5 pages worth of cross stitching, and this is basically what I'm really into. I don't know why. It's what I want to do, so I do it. And every now and then I'm like, I should cross stitch something else, or I should start something new. But apparently I heard the words monogamania May or monogamous May or something like that, and I thought, yes, that is me. I'm not known for my hobby monogamy, but apparently this is what it takes. And so this is where I'm at. I'm on page 4. I started in the middle with this guy because I wanted to start at the very middle and work my way out, because I knew my borders would be pretty tight at the top and the bottom, and they are, but that's fine by me. I mean, it is what it is. And then I think it was Off the Grid Needle Arts, no, it was El Pool is here, or El Poo is here. Anyway, Cross Stitch Maximum Power Hour was showing off some Leo and Roxy floss, and I know them as a yarn company, and I've thought about getting some of their yarn, and I didn't know they did floss, and they're sold through Evertote, who is Off the Grid Needle. And so I went to look at it because I thought, oh cool, hand-dyed Canadian floss, and they had a colorway called Morticia, so I had to buy basically my body weight in it. And I'm hoping it's enough, although there are a couple skeins being held back in the shop from what I hear, in case I need them. However, I had 10 to start with, and I ordered another 5. I've used 4 so far, so I should be okay. But this is what it looks like in its skeiny form, and I don't know how to make it look prettier, but it is really pretty. It's purples and grays, and that's what I'm using for this, and it's just making me really happy. When I ordered more of it, I ended up getting, I don't know if I brought it in here, I think it's actually in the living room, but I got a couple of the purple sampler packs, and I have 5 skeins of the Royale, and I'm thinking I'm gonna do, just leaning out of frame all the time, this guy, which I got ages ago. It has a couple different ones inside, and I thought this would be really nice because it's done on the front in the different blues and purples. I thought I would do that myself with like the purple sampler. I'm not sure which one. I haven't decided yet. Like, this one is really pretty. I might do that one and then just do it in different ones. Like, do it in different colors, kind of like how it's done there. I'm glad I don't need to be able to read German, because that would just be funny. But this one's pretty too. I don't know, but that's what I figured I would do with them. That's my plan anyway, as I lean out of frame. Okay. I know you missed me so much. I'm not even going to tell you what I've been reading because that would take us forever, and we're almost at an hour. But I do want to show you, lastly but not leastly, some of the kits that I've been getting. And I have no shame, really. I've gotten a lot of things. So I have the Black Lace Sampler by Rosewood Manor, which everyone and their dog has seen. And I don't have it fully kitted up, but I do have a few things in here for it. Apparently that is something I am vibing. I completely kitted up my Siren and the Shipwreck. Is it Siren and the Shipwreck? Siren and the Shipwreck. Completely kitted up. All called for. Ready to go. So, all ready to go. All chewed on by the kittens. You guys haven't met the kittens. I got kittens. They were gonna die. You know what happens? I hear something like that and I'm like, yeah, okay, bring him. My poor husband we didn't even have all of our stuff. It hadn't even arrived yet, and I was like, no, we have to save the kittens. So we ended up with a pair of res cats. And then I had to get the new Halloween just cross stitch, which is in this giant bag. And I was also picking up some colors for one of the patterns my husband got me, which is a Pacific Northwest sampler. And I saw this, the Spooktacular Halloween Garden Labyrinth. And it had several words that I like, such as Halloween and labyrinth and garden. So I kitted it up completely, alongside kitting up something else completely, alongside with getting the cross stitch thing. But I also got a bunch of needles, because if you're going to make a just cross stitch order, you may as well make it worthwhile. Right? Right? I'm stacking up for the end times. Where's all of this time, right? I've got my Death by Cross Stitch with my Silks for You ready to go with its fabric. I got the fabric. It's all ready. I saw this on Etsy. It's a really old sunset pattern. It's completely sealed. It was Mary Maxim, and it made me think of my mom, so I had to pick it up. It's got an Indigenous woman riding a horse inside of an owl with leaves. So full kit. I will be doing that at some point. When that point is, who knows? My husband got me the, I don't even know if I can get these out of here. Oh, yeah. Because you can never have too many Mirabilias. I've got the Royal Games #1 embellishment pack, but I've got both of the patterns. And I will eventually have these done. Because how many Mirabilias can you have? Not enough. The answer is not enough. However, I think I'm only like 3 or 4 shy of all of the mermaids, so gonna have to remedy that, although she keeps releasing mermaids. Could she stop for a hot minute? Because I need to catch up. But I got those two. So basically y'all are just like, hey Sadie, when are you gonna stitch all this? And I'm saying, I don't know. And the last thing I bought, which was a yay me, I think this was a birthday present last year or something, is the Gecko Rouge kit for Wednesday Addams, because hey, that's my life. And yes, I know that they're going to be doing a Netflix one, and Christina Ricci might be in it. And so this is the Medusa Dollmaker Wednesday Addams, which I figured if Pam from Newfoundland and Labrador can do it, can do the Folk Witch, surely I can do this. I got the 25 count, I believe. Yeah, the 25 count, and I got the kit for 1/1 because I find 2/1 to be way too hard on my hands. So 1/1 on 25 count. I'm not gonna lie, every time I look at this, I'm like, why am I not stitching this right now? And it is my birthday month, so maybe I will. I know, I'm talking too much. And that's just like a snippet of some of the stuff I've been up to and been doing, but that is what I've been up to. I've read a lot of books. I most recently, my big finish most recently, here, I'll show you. I finished at the very beginning of May, but what I read for most of April was The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. It's huge. It was actually, it was like a little mini book club I did with my husband. He listened to it because he likes Audible books, and I prefer to read things, so we both read it at the same time so we could discuss it, and it's actually really good. I quite enjoyed it. I did try to listen to some of the Audible, and I did finish it via Audible because I was finding I didn't have enough time to read, so if I could listen to it while I was doing things, that helped. But the French really messed me up because I didn't read it as French in my head, even though I'm Canadian. So if I was reading it, it would be danglers, but when I was listening to it, it was dongle. And I was, just mess with your mind. That's one of the reasons I struggle with audiobooks. I'm currently listening to the second of the Shades of Magic or whatever by V.E. Schwab. It's not grabbing me as much as I would have liked. I recently finished The Graveyard Apartment by Mariko Koki. Right here. The Graveyard Apartment by Mariko Koki. Translated by Deborah Bolivier-Bohm. It's really good. I thought it was really good. It's a bit predictable, but it's definitely a Japanese horror. It has all of those elements, and it really just gives it to you that way, and I liked it. So there's that. I'm reading In Cold Blood right now. That's my actual reading book. And if you guys want to hear more about what I'm reading, I'm more than willing to get into that later on. Once I don't have an hour-long catch-up for you, or maybe you like the hour-long catch-ups, who knows? Maybe you just like staring at my face for an hour while I ramble. Yeah, so as far as jobs, my new job, I am the assistant manager of Kairos Blanket Exercises for Kairos Canada, which is a not-for-profit Canadian social justice thing. So, and blanket exercises are an immersive experience you can have to learn over 500 years of history. It's not actually anything to do with babies or blankets. Well, it does have to do with blankets, but no babies. So you can look up what a blanket exercise is, but I basically am involved with the regional directors now, making sure that the virtual ones get done and more social justice-y stuff. I was working at an Indigenous community-based health research lab, so I was doing a lot of stuff surrounding getting out information on COVID-19 to Indigenous communities in Canada, and that was really brutal. Just because I think when the world shut down, everything ramped up into overdrive there, and I found myself not having a lot of time. So when the other job presented itself, it really was a no-brainer. But yeah, it's all. I also have more time to myself now, which is good because, you know, husband's in school, kiddo's a kiddo. He's 2.5 now. You probably won't see him on here. We're making that concerted effort just to let him have more of a, it's a safety thing, but it's also so that he's not all over the internet before he has a say. Just having worked in a lot of child stuff recently, that's what we decided. So if you like this, let me know. Let me know what you think about 2 weeks or a month. Let me know what you think the format should be. I'm not going to change too much of it. Like, I'm not breaking anything up. But if you'd like to see more stuff added, that's surely something I could do. Or I could show you my garden. That also would be entertaining. I'm going to have to figure out how to transfer this over to the laptop so that it can be uploaded and I can edit it. I've never edited anything before. I think I edited one thing and get it on YouTube. So this could take a week before it's even up. Who knows? And yeah. But if you need to find me, I am Sadie Ruin on Instagram and on Twitter, and I'm Blue Ruin on Ravelry, but again, I don't go there very often. It's usually just to check what I have to check. I try to work around it as much as possible because it hurts my head. And yeah, it was lovely coming back for a hot minute, and hopefully we'll see each other again soon. Bye!